Hi, I'm Daniel, and Disenchantment has ended and I still have to think through every single thing. This season hit a good end of being satisfying, but gave a sad empty feeling now that it's over. The show started in 2018 and I've been enjoying it, but it's also been very flawed throughout its run. There's a lot of characters and plot points that go far too long without being addressed. Lots of mysteries were teased, but held back from being revealed for longer than they should have. The show still had work to offer me each season, with some funny comedy, likable characters, and strong parts. The final two episodes of part 1 are so amazing, it show how genius the show could be. I formally made a video ranking episodes from part 1 to 3, before I decided to limit ranking episodes to finished shows. I kinda regret that now, cause I probably won't be able to do it for the full show. I also reviewed part 4 when it comes out, but this video will be formatted different and yes in depth about everything. If I try to go over every character, this video will be too long. I more want to go over my overall feel of the season as a whole. I was a bit worried the show may never finish. The Futurama revival was announced on the same day part 4 released. Couldn't they have chosen a different date to announce it? It seemed like they wanted to replace this with more Futurama. However, there is still a part 5 to end the show. It's weird because the previous 4 parts were produced in 2 seasons. However, it worked better without that because part 1 and 3 had better endings. Anyway, how was the overall ending of Disenchantment? This might be mild spoilers but I won't make it too major. The large worry I had was that this season won't conclude everything. There's so many plots and characters, there was bound to be some that wouldn't appear. However, none came to mind because all major characters got an extra story point and closure. I even tried to look up character lists to see, but I couldn't find any who appeared enough times to need one. Not every character got a large amount to do, and I wanted to see more to do with the Secret Society, but I'm quite happy with all this managed to do. This season had some trouble with part 4 having a weak cliffhanger. However, it followed up well in mainly the first episode. This season mostly has 2 or 3 groups of characters. I originally found it weird that Yuki and Alpha weren't separated by the cliffhanger like usual, but I think it was well deserved. There's a plot going on in Dreamland with Dagmar and Satan taking over. The group of UC Alpha, Mop Girl, and Akechi Bunte involved trying to stop bad being made and plan a revolution against them. This part is fun for exploring new dynamics and the regular location. It has increased stakes and is a good way to use the characters for a side plot. Bean's plot explores the other powers and relationships. It's good to see more of her and Mora across the first couple episodes. I also like how they travel across different locations, and this season constantly feels narrative. They go to Steamland for the last time and meet up with Sog and break everyone out of the freak show, again. For the next 2 episodes, it explores Bean and Sog, whose dynamic was centered throughout the whole show. I like how they now have a healthier father-daughter relationship, and both have gone through a lot of growth throughout the show. Every character has grown, and that felt off by the end. Episode 8 is the big battle that feels well built up. Episode 9 is a dark episode with the literal title Darkness Falls. It's weird because the Falls title scheme is normally given in the final episode, but here it shows what the next episode will actually be. They could have made the penultimate episode be the younger one because there's a clear cut-off point, but I still really like what happened in the finale. The final confrontation may be slightly underwhelming, but the focus on the characters and world they'll end. The show may play with death too much that use impact, but I really like how it keeps one and ends one of its fake out deaths. The final celebration then cutting between everyone's ending got me very emotional. After seeing so much of this world and cast across 5 years, it is so satisfying seeing all this. This episode just hit me, which is a sign of a great finale. It does one common ending trope, but it fits the show in my opinion, and gives a very happy and sad feel at the same time. Also, that end credit scene just got me. I'll mention 2 spoiler things at the very end of this video. Also, this season was pretty funny. It felt less comedic based than previous seasons, but still had its always funny moments. One nitpick is the guy who gets hit by an arrow out his window was overused. All his scenes were funny on his own, but this works better as a once a season joke. Now for the main characters. Bean's arc feels really full circle. The first 3 seasons was her journey to become the queen, while after expanding on what she really wants. Her goals and attitude is greatly created here. Alpha also gets a final story. I wish they brought back the Alpha Bean parallel more from part 1, but I think it has a good focus at the story of Disenchantment. UC also has a strong arc and why it does near the end of such a crucial moment. More on that later. Stargate is also great. He doesn't have much story yet, but it's good to see him as a supportive father. He's still the best character. Maybe the Mop Girl gets much screen time and it's great to have a female like a main character. She breaks out of the side character role and I like how he acknowledges that. Her role was predicted, but it still felt earned, and I was sort of surprised this season as well. The other characters ended well too. Now for the villains, I liked how Satan was used, and he doesn't want to be there. Bad Bean admittedly felt a bit underwhelming. She's great interacting with Bean, but not really the rest of the time, and that's most of her screen time this season. Now, Dagmar was hard to manage. The show has been keeping her mysterious and building her up that nothing could feel conclusive. It's clear they'll make up the property as it goes on. The one part that feels put aside here was the Dreamland curse and what Dagmar was planning. I was expecting more diving deep into what happened in the past this season, but I still like to focus on personal activities. Considering previous seasons, Dagmar was done as well as she could at this point. I like how she appeared throughout the season, instead of just the first one or two episodes and the last minute of the season. She was a threat and entertaining, while Dagmar's end is flawed. It's more of a series fault than season problem. Some criticisms were kept now, but all others said throughout the show now feel vain. The show was leading somewhere, and I doubt it could have given its ending as well as it did. This show may now be better remembered due to its finale. It fits the Netflix format, but I think that stunted the show's growth. I doubt it'll have a chance to gain popularity and come back like Futurama does. Speaking of, the reboot is fine so far. Some episodes work and some episodes don't really. I have reviewed and will review each one on my community post. In conclusion, I give Disenchantment Part 5 a 9 out of 10, and it sits with Part 3 as the best seasons of the show. I just really enjoyed this ending, and a lot what the show means a lot to me. I was there when it started in 2018, and for every season released, seeing the growth of these characters and writing style with me is something special about this. It may be the weakest of the macaroni 3 shows, but it may actually be my personal favourite, and it took me a season for me to realise that. I'm considering doing a retrospect of the show considering I followed it bit by bit, but I need to feel right to make another long video like that. How did I ever make that Big Hero 6 video? It depends what's next for this channel, but just know I love Disenchantment a lot. Now for spoilers. So, God dies. Technically no, since in reality Fate did the test Chevy and UC, but it was a really shocking moment fitting of an ultimate episode. For a moment, I thought it might do the UC becomes God ending, but I like how UC chooses the Yagbob option to show growth. Also, the ending of closing the gate making Dreamland disappear like Elfwood was. It makes sense, it's an amazing way to showcase the end of the show. It got me to process it the last time seeing these characters. Even if you never do, I feel satisfied. If you enjoyed this video, consider pressing subscribe and watching my old videos. There's another new season of stuff I plan to review soon. The end.